Hey guys, the Board Game Geek Awards were just announced, and while the other 3 to 2 losers didn't want to join us, Kelly, she, and I wanted to take on the pressing moments of the board game world and talk about the thing that everyone's talking about right now, which is what is it, Kelly?
The winners and losers, runner ups, and more importantly, our opinions.
The Board Game Geek Awards. That's right. Which annual? Do they 19th annual? It's right there on the screen. So, Kelly, what is your
Words.
general thoughts of the Board Game Geek Awards? Do you normally are you okay with them? Do you like to follow them at all? Like, what's your general thoughts?
Generally speaking, I don't rush to the day of and go log on and look at them all, but I feel like they'll get mentioned either like on a Facebook group or, with friends, and then I'll comment. But I think there's always a lot of contention I hear on what is picked and what is not.
Yeah, I know Wingspan year was pretty contentious because Wingspan just won everything. But I think it's been better ever since that. Actually, Gloomhaven was the first year where it took everything, and then the second year Wingspan did, and people were so outraged. And while I think there was validity in the Gloomhaven one, I don't think there was validity in the Wingspan one.
Of course you wouldn't, but I just think people were jealous, man. I mean, the birds of the words.
Birds are awesome. I do got to say that. Yeah, so Board Game Geek Awards have been like exciting. Like I like to look at them, I like to pay attention to them, but I still think that the Dice Tower Awards are actually like the best awards because Board Game Geek, it's just the Board Game Geek users voting on them. So you do get that like the lighter games tend to win, or not the lighter games, but you know what I mean. The most played game wins.
Mass
People
market.
got, yeah, exactly. So, but with the Dice Tower Awards, they pick like 80 reviewers, people who actually play the games and play them with a critical eye. So I think they have the most validity, but the board game geeks I think are still fun to look at, and that's why we're looking at them because this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
I can tell you're enthusiastic there, Kelly. Good job. So let's look at the. We're just going to go pull up the screen as you guys see here, and we're just going to go one by one category, and talk about it. So the first thing we have here is two-player games. The winner is Lord of the Rings: Duel for Middle Earth, and the runner-ups were Kelp and A Guest of Robin Hood. Kelly, have you played any of these?
I've played one. I know about another, and the third I've never heard of.
A Guest of Robin
And I
Hood, you never
do,
heard of? So
yes,
that
and I
one
do.
is a game that Chris actually found on our Gen Con episode, and that he was actually interested in it. I don't think it's ever
Hmm.
going to get played by our group, but I at least had heard of it. And then Kelp, I know we saw that being played. I know our friend Judah Banning was playing at FBC Gamers one day, so I did see how that worked, and Brian Denning as well. But the winner was Lord of the Rings: Duel for Middle Earth. I'm guessing that's the one you played, Kelly.
It is, and I have to say, Lord of the Rings has never been my IP. Oh,
What?
don't hurt me, guys. But I will say, between this and the trick taking game, it's really drawn me back in. But everyone knows is it Seven Wonders Duel and
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I was trying to remember if it was called that. But everyone knows that one, and this is kind of a similar version, but rethemed. But
Yeah.
I will say playing it totally felt different in the sense that they add some area control elements, and area control is one of my favorite mechanics. So I just really thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's good to hear the area control. It's one of my favorite as well. It's on my shelf over there, but I haven't got to play it because two-player games are hard to get played. Just they seem like they shouldn't be, but unless you have a spouse that likes to play a lot of games with you, it's just hard to do. Which I'm guessing you have a spouse that will play games with you.
Yes. My
That does make
two-player
life
game
easier.
is strong.
There you go. All right. Well, that was two-player game. Next one is artwork and presentations. So the runners-up were arcs and harmonies, and I don't know what some of the other nominees were, but arcs. I feel like while I do like the art a lot, it's kind of been done before, and I feel like there has to be. I don't know. Is there a penalty to looking like something that's already out there? Because it was the same artist as like Root and Ahoy and Fort and all the other leader games. So, like, should it really be a runner up? Like, should it be considered? Because it's not unique. It's just the same art again in space.
My opinion is I don't even recall, like, actually, I remember the words, the graphic design of the words more than the actual front of the game, which to me is a huge faux pas because what do you want? You want shelf presence. You want to notice it. And I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you really what's on the board or on the front of it. To where like harmonies, I'm kind of
Yeah.
surprised harmonies is on there because I did not think that was very pretty at all. It's kind of
No.
basics.
Yeah. It was like abstracted. So it's like it's fine, but yeah, like it's color paint. It's like it's right here. So I guess that's fine, but really runner up, especially when the winner is this beauty. I mean, there must have not even been any competition at all because Unconscious Mind is just fantastic. And finally, Vincent Dutrait, he's my favorite artist of all time, finally gets the credit he deserves. He makes beautiful box art, and every year it just always loses out to something that's just different, again, going back to the whole it needs to be different. But this one is different because Vince Dutrait teamed up with someone else. Let's see if I can find the design the artist here. Can we find it? Yeah, here we go. Andrew Bosley and Vincent Dutrait. So they're two art styles together really is what makes this one unique. And man, this game has been talked about for 2 or 3 years now because it was a Kickstarter. So we've got to look at it for 3 years. Did you get to play this one yet, Kelly?
I have not. The one time I almost could have, it filled before I got there, but I will tell you, I'm not surprised in the least it won this. It should have won by, a long shot because it is just showstopper. I've passed by the table, stopped, and just sat there staring because it's just gorgeous. Everything
Yeah.
about it's gorgeous. So I definitely want to play, even though it's a longer type game. I'm going to give it a try just because it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and sometimes the cover art isn't all the way through the game, and this time it is. Like here's one of the cards. Like that's just fantastic. They just did a great job with this game start to finish. It definitely deserved to win. So,
Yep.
all right. Well, that was art. Next thing we have is expansion. Oh, nope, cooperative games. All right. This is by far the most outrageous, scandalous category so far, and that is the fact that Slay the Spire is only the runner up. That was game of the year material. It took this incredible video game and condensed it into a board game and made it uniquely its own. It deserves so much more credit than just runner up. Like this was my game of the year, let alone cooperative game of the year. And then what it lost to literally Fellowship of the Ring trick taking game, which is a crew ripoff. The crew ripoff? Come on.
I mean, you're not biased in the least on this, Daniel, is what I'm hearing.
I'm not biased at all. I like Fellowship of the Ring, I like Slay the Spire, and I like Bomb Busters. Slay the Spire, those two games do not hold a candle to Slay the Spire. So good.
Now, I did get to play 2 out of 3 of these. I've not, got to play Bomb Busters and know much about it, but Slay the Spire, we did play together, you taught it to me, and, unfortunately, it's just those terrible sleeves that keep ringing in my mind of how those things fall
Yeah.
apart. That
I
is
did
just a
re-sleeve
shame.
them with Dragon Shield though, so it's better now.
Good, good, good. Because that and I will say it was interesting. I don't know if it's really my game, so I don't know that I disagree that it didn't win. But here's the problem. I'm a huge trick taker type gamer, and so I am biased here. I'm happy that the Fellowship of the Ring played. I've actually enjoyed this so much. I played it with 2 to 3 different groups, even starting from the beginning of the story version, and I very much enjoy it. And I will say, this sucker should have been an artwork as well because it is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I'd give you that. I'd put that over Arcs and Harmonies. Yeah.
Most
For that matter, the art of the what is it called? The Lord of the Rings duel for Middle Earth. Even
yeah,
that art was better, which was Vincent Dutrait.
yeah.
Just gonna point that out. Yeah, and then just a quick shout out to Bomb Busters. It's like a social deduction, not a social deduction game. It's just a deduction game, cooperative. You have to figure out like who has the red wire, and you have to cut things by saying like, I think this one's a 4, and you have to reveal it. I actually think you would like it. It gives you Hanabi vibes. So,
Okay.
uh, you actually might like it. I know you're not a big fan of cooperatives, but I would go on a lim and play this one with you and think you would enjoy it.
You would think,
So,
but I played 2 out of 3 of these. Who knew?
who knew? All right, expansions. Are you an expansion person?
All right. So, I've always been the one, I wanna own it all, completist, so to speak. But I'm
Sure.
shying away from it now. I kind
Yeah.
of don't wanna play, and matter of fact, Kickstarters, when they want to have the base and then have 3 expansions with the base that you haven't even played yet, I
Yeah.
feel my Chris Thomason coming out. Like, I'm just like, "No way, Jose. Can we slow down?" And I'm buying less and less expansions except for games that I know I really love. I wanna know more about the content.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I've never been expansion fan except for my card games and like miniature games, ones that it's just more of the same, like Roots and stuff like that. So the fact that Arcs is the winner probably deserves it because it's more of the same and it just gives you something unique yet the exact same thing. And I mean, for Shuffle and Heat Heavy Rain, I mean, Heat was just another racetrack. Don't get me wrong, great. I want more racetracks, but like runner up expansion of the year, I don't know. The expansion is the one that gets me a little like I think people just pick the game they like the most and they're like, "Sure, I like their expansion too, because why wouldn't I?" So, this one it's like, man, whatever. Have you played
Now,
the I
I
know you like
do
For a Shuffle. Have
I
you
was
played
about
the
to say.
expansion? Yeah.
So, I actually have both expansions. That is one that I did go all in on and do not regret because I
Yeah.
do think the expansions add so much that it really is enjoyable, but man, those point counters, whoo!
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a lot of numbers, man, almost power gridish. It almost ruins it for me, but I love the game so much, I suffer through it.
Nice. All right, the next one, this one it always has controversy as well, and that's the most innovative game. The
Ooh.
winner was Arcs, which again, it's the engine of Root and Vast and Ahoy. So it being innovative seems a little weird, other than that it's like trick taking based. That's what they say, but
Yeah.
so is Brian Baru, and that came first. So like, is it innovative if literally Brian Baru did this game? And then SETI it's fine and it's good, but it's essentially they took Led Lost Ruins of Arnak and it blew it up. So again, I don't know, innovative. Fromage? I'll give Fromage innovative. What do you think? I know you played
Fromage
Fromage.
should have won, hands down.
Yeah.
It was absolutely innovative. I personally have not played a game, which doesn't mean a lot, that, had that turn style where you just
Yeah.
play that section, and each section had its own point system, so to speak. And then, you had your board with the little options. It's kind of like you choose what your way is going to be. And I might be a little bit, loving this game too because I'm currently, undefeated in all my plays, so I likes the cheese.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's definitely unique, and I would have given this one the nod over the other two, even though I probably liked the other two more than Fromage. It was fine for me. I just didn't care. It did make you think, interestingly, because whatever, like the as the wheel turned, it would free up your pieces, but based on which direction they turned, which is similar to Barrage, but not in like the direction they face, but like it was on the resource wheel and you would turn it to free up the resources. And that was a pretty cool part of Mirage. So I did like that in Filmage. Filmage, Barrage, they're pretty much the same game. They sound the same, they play the same. No, just
But
kidding.
as it is tasty.
It probably tastes a lot different. All right. So now we got the games of the years, but they break the categories down to light, medium, heavy. I actually really like this. This is the part that I don't like about the Dice Tower Awards is that Tom Vassell, for some reason, refuses to truly understand the category of light, medium, and heavy. It's like I get that those are subjective terms, and if you've never played a board game before, these medium games feel very heavy. But come on, you can't constantly do your stuff based on the lowest common denominator. You have to do it based on people who've been in the hobby. And I think these three categories are where Board Game Geek does the best because these are three light games: Castle Combo, Flip 7, and Captain Flip. You don't get more light than this. Um, I've played Captain Flip, love it, adored it, have so much fun with it. It's a 10 to 15-minute game, and it's just you can talk while you're playing it. You got some good moments where you're like, "Oh, I can't believe I got the third cannoner. Let me flip it." Or you flip over the parrot, which lets you flip over another piece, which is the monkey, which lets you draw a piece, which then you flip a parrot and you flip it over again, and you get these weird combos, and you're like, "Wow, I don't even know what just happened, but that was fun." So Captain Flip would have been my choice, but I haven't played the other two. Have you played the other two?
You've not played Flip 7?
I haven't.
Oh, you wanna
I
talk
heard it
about
was
the
the best
hardest.
card game ever.
So, it literally just blew up so hardcore, and then, like always, you can't find it anywhere. I don't even know if you currently can, if it's come back out, but
Mhm.
it is a lot more fun than you would think. It's a very much you flip the cards and you're trying to get different numbers, and you don't once you get the same number, you bust, and there's a couple, special cards that might let you freeze somebody, so they can't get more cards, and it just sounds so basic, but I'll tell you, you can play this game with like 10, 15 people, and it is so much fun. I got to play it several times, different play counts. It was always just a lot of laughs, a lot. I was really unexpected, but I actually agree with you too with Captain Flip. Captain
Yeah.
Flip, I actually played with you in our, larger group. I think we had like six, if I'm remembering
Yeah,
correctly.
maybe.
And I loved it too. As soon as I played, I was like, "This is so charming." And it's actually the game I actually won a game at our FBC Game Con, and this is what I
Yeah.
chose. And I was the first picker, and I came back to my table and I got dogged
I
so
bet you
hard because
did.
like I did because they were like, "You didn't grab heat. You didn't grab this." I go, "I either owned it or I don't want to play it. This is the game I was excited to get. Back off."
Yep. That's nice. Yeah, Captain Flip is really cool. You're not seeing my screen, but I pulled up the Walmart website. It's 7.97 right now, and it's Walmart's game of the month. And I always say it's the greatest card game ever because it actually says it on the cover. The greatest card game of all time. So, Castle combos, I know the brother Murphs like it. And it did make me actually intrigued and want to look into the game, but I don't really know much more about it than that. So,
Same for a winner. I never heard of it.
yeah. All right, game of the year medium. We have Endeavor Deep Sea was a runner up. That would have been my medium weight game of the year. That is a fantastic game. Blew me away. I did not anticipate it being as good as it was. I never played the original Endeavor though because I need to be in Denver to play it. So, but yeah, but the Deep Sea one was a blast. But it lost out to Harmonies. So, have you played Harmonies?
Yeah.
What'd you think
So
of it?
I take it to play harmonies. Someone likened it to Cascadia, which
Mhm.
I don't quite make the full connection of that. I guess maybe because of the patterns a little bit. But for me, I would choose Cascadia over it every time.
Yeah.
Fact that it won over Endeavor, I'm with you. I'm like, what? But I also would kind of say Endeavor, I don't know that I call medium. I know maybe for a seasoned gamer, we may want to almost call it a medium, but there's a lot going on. And if you hadn't played its predecessor, there's
Yeah.
just a lot to learn and figure out in strategy. There's so many different ways to go. I
Yeah,
think
I
this
don't
has been on the heavy.
No, I think it could be medium. Our friend Ken O'Connor, he taught it to me, and he's like, "I teach this game to everybody because the teach is so easy. There's this just simple flow to it. It's definitely one of those that has hidden depth to it, no pun intended. But it's an easy teach, and I do think that's largely defines a medium from a heavy game that I think anybody can just sit down and play it. So again, you can't see my screen, Kelly, but I'm looking at Harmonies because I think people compare it to Cascadia because it has like the chips like Cascadia. But I'm also looking at the cards of Harmony, and again, while I think best artwork should have been something else, I think Unconscious Mind was accurate. Harmony's cards are actually really cute. This is really good artwork. Like the cover itself is like blah, but the cards, they're really cute. You should take a look at them again.
I probably should.
Yeah. All right, heavy game of the year. This one, man, I don't even know if I have a real good opinion on it. I kind of want to see what the other nominations were, but the winner was SETI. Again, I played SETI. That was the definition of a game that felt like it kind of goes into the category of A Feast for Odin. There's just so much going on. And you have to sit there and go, is this really necessary? Do I really need all of this stuff going on at once? That's how I felt like with SETI. Again, I'd rather play Lost Ruins of Arnak, which you can see the roots, the design roots in that game. And it's like, I kind of like the simplicity of that one over the unnecessary complexity of SETI.
So, the space game theme is the theme I'm getting so over. There's so many themes like that. So already out the gate, I was like, ugh. And my play of it, oh my gosh, the teach took forever. We didn't even finish the game that I tried to play, and I think we were playing 3, 4 hours. Now, granted, that is including the teach, but I definitely felt it was one of those games where if you don't catch on quick enough, you're gone, you're
Yeah.
lost. There's no coming back if you're not with it, and that's how I felt with the game that I played, and quite honestly, I don't ever wanna play it again. Not
Yeah.
interested. So,
That's how I
definitely not
felt
my
too.
favorite have.
Yeah, I pulled off the window here and looked this up. So, um, the nominees for heavy games were Andromeda's Edge, Arcs, Black Forest, Civilization, Ezra and Nehemiah. I enjoyed that one. Inventions. I never even played that. Inventors of the Norse Tigris, Min Nefer, SETI, and Unconscious Minds. Honestly, that entire list, there's not a lot there that really screams at me. I wonder if this wasn't a great year for heavy games.
So, I did get to play Black Forest, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, that was an Uwe.
Yeah, it is a new way. Did you enjoy it?
So here's the funny thing, my friends are gonna be like, "You're lying." When I was playing it, I was very
Uh,
frustrated, but I
yeah,
think it's because I didn't catch on to certain things till I was, like, halfway, and you know how that goes. But
sure.
actually, in retrospect, I kinda wanna play it again. It is interesting in, some of the mechanics because you have to play it's almost got a bit of, 5 or 6 rondels in a sense, and
Ooh,
only one
Rondels.
person can really yeah, kind of. And only one person can play in each section, and if you wanna come jump over there, it's pricey, it's expensive. So you truly gotta plan ahead, which isn't always my favorite depending on the game. In this game, you better know what you're doing. So I think that was why it was hard for me, but I keep thinking about it. So I'm kinda
Yeah.
thinking I might have
Okay. Yeah, I'm intrigued by it. I definitely want to play it. I like UA. Men Effer, I know John played it and it was like a 4-hour game, and John said it was fantastic. So the fact that John really liked a 4-hour game actually makes me really want to play Men Effer. I just don't want to sacrifice 4 hours quite yet. So
it did look really cool on the table, and I do love a good old Egyptian theme.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it was one of those, like, I wanted to play, but I wanted to play 3 games, not 1.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's always the dilemma with that one. All right, well, let's move on to party games. This one must really speak to how popular Flip 7 is because runner up was The Gang. The Gang is gangbusters. Like everyone loves that game, and the people who love it just adore it. So Flip 7 must be really good then.
I would say the reason why I think Flip 7 might have had an edge is the core of the gang is poker. So if you're not a poker person, you're probably kind of like you, Daniel, kind of
Yeah,
not really that excited to play. But if
that's
you
fair.
love that cooperative of, I want to get this in a row, but if you know poker, it's pretty accessible to anybody who wants to play. It can be a whole lot of fun. And I just find every time anybody I've introduced it to, oh, man, after we play, there's so much talking about it, and I
Yeah,
think that's always fun when there's talking about all the different things you could do and blah, blah, blah.
that is true. It is a good conversation game. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing this picture right now, and it's a poker room with a poker table, and they actually have the gang artwork, like, hung up. It almost looks like AI. This can't be a real
Ooh,
one. If that was a real room, though, that'd be awesome. The people at home watching
I
this,
don't
but
know.
didn't make sense to them.
Our gamers don't play, man.
Yeah, that is true. It very well could be. them. Okay, so the next category here is print and play. We're gonna skip that. If you like print and plays, power to you. I don't think Kelly or I do that, right?
Never.
Never. Yeah, so we're just
I
gonna
want
skip
the
that.
fancy version.
Yeah,
Take my
we'll
money.
read it. Yeah, that's right. If I can't spend $100 on it, I don't want it.
That's right.
uh, but the winner, just for those who care, it's 52 Realms of Emperors. Okay, so look into it if you like print and play. All right, solo games. Not really a solo fan. And I think the solo winner, you'll be surprised for this, Kelly. I actually disagree with it. While
I'm not.
I'm sure the solo winner is Slay the Spire, the board game. And while I think that's a good game, just if you're gonna play by yourself, like I get it. Board game, some people want to play the board game and they want to have the experience of the board game and they don't have the friends or the group to play with in the moment, so they like to play solo. I get that. Not shaming that at all. But with Slay the Spire, the board game, it's so similar to the video game. It's like, why would you want to play not the video game? Like, that is a weird choice to me. And for runner up being Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs, which is like a solo version of Gloomhaven, that feels like maybe the more accurate direction to go. Or even Imperium Horizons, which is a fantastic deck building game that's best played by itself. So,
Yeah,
but you don't really
Imperial Horizons. Oh,
no, I was just saying, do you have any thoughts on these? I know you're not a solo gamer either.
actually,
Oh, are
actually,
you?
I've tried an extensive solo game collection
Oh, okay. I did
that
not
I
realize
don't.
that about you.
Yeah, yeah. Um, the Imperium Horizons I always see on your shelf and just wistfully look at, going, I want to play that one of the times I'm here. Um,
Well, I got
but
rid of
so,
it, so too late.
oh, you did?
Yeah, I know. It's just it was never gonna get played. It was fun, but I just
It
I
would have.
yeah.
And we played
Yeah.
Ethnos rethemed.
I love that Ethnos game. That should have won
I
good
love the
art.
original, not the retheme.
The retheme was fine. I mean, of course, it made me angry. You know me. I was there with you complaining, but in the end, I'm okay with it. I just was hoping that Ethnos would be more like I can show this to my family and we would play it. And I won't be able to show that to my family because they won't be able to play it. And they won't play the original Ethnos because of the way it looks. So it was like frustrating for that reason. But in the
Yeah.
end, I know how to play it. I have no problem if I'm playing it with a bunch of people who knows how to play it. It's great. But Ethnos isn't on this list, so
Yeah, we digress, but I
we
totally agree with you
digress.
on Slay the Spire. Like, why would you wanna set up a bunch of board game pieces when you can just sit down with the video
Yeah,
game? Like,
yeah,
I
and it's
that's
the
makes sense to
same game too. Like, oh, okay,
me. Mhm.
weird. Okay, thematic. I wish John was here for this one to let us truly know. But the winner is SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Life, and it beat Let's Go to Japan and Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth. I mean, sure, SETI does have a cool like flow, like like a game flow to it. You're doing things here in the center of the earth, and then as you expand out, you actually run into alien uh empires and you flip it over and you like explore what the alien empire does. So halfway through the game, it like messes up, not messes up your game, but it changes the way the game plays out. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thematically, sure, I get it. But yeah, Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth. Kind of surprised that one didn't win just because of Lord of the Rings.
Honestly, this was a great list. This is the first category where I'm like, this is kind of a tough list,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Now, I'm gonna highlight Let's Go to Japan more than the other 2
Uh-huh.
since we've been talking about him.
Yeah.
Is Let's Go to Japan was a real surprise hit for me. It is such a interesting, beautiful game where the theme does completely, tie in with traveling and, kind of the set collection, and it's just such a fun experience, like, it really you immerse in that theme of going through Japan. So I actually a little sad it's a runner up, but at the same time, like I said, all 3 of these I do think hit the category well.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Let's Go to Japan. I probably need to play it. It's going to be twisting my arm to get that one played. It just doesn't look exciting to me, but I hear it's great. So, All right, war games. Again, we're not war game people, but the winner is Arcs. I guess I'll agree with that. I love me some Root. I haven't got to play Arcs yet, but it's right over there on my shelf, and I'm excited to play it. A guess for Robin Hood is looks cool. I've heard good things about it. And Dune War for Arrakis. Sure, why not? I don't know. Have you
Yeah.
played any of those, Kelly?
No, I've just heard about the Robin Hood one from you tonight, and
Yeah.
Arcs I know. And if I had to pick one of these three, I'd go with Arcs because there's some trick taking.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And then the best podcast. Looking around the board. Oh my gosh, I can't believe no, just kidding.
Someday,
No, I've
someday.
never I like to listen to a lot of different podcasts. I actually haven't heard of any of the other two. I heard of Beyond Solitaire because she was on the Dice Tower for a while. But the other two, Board Game Hot Takes and Space Biff Space Cats Cast. I haven't heard of either of those. I know one of the nominees is Rolling Dice and Taking Names and Blue Peg Pink Peg, and I love both of them, and I think they're pretty big in the industry. I'm a little surprised that they haven't won yet. I don't know. Do you have any podcasters that you listen to that you're surprised hasn't won yet?
So podcasting's a little difficult for me. If I'm just listening to something and don't have the visual, I disengage and miss a lot. So I'm not really big on listening. I'd rather pull up a YouTube and watch, a
Yeah.
commentator or see how it's played, that kind of stuff. Because honestly, podcasts just lose me.
Yeah. I used to listen to them a lot, and then after COVID, I've listened to them a lot less, which is disappointing. I need to get back into it. So, and then the last but not least is the board game apps. The winner is Dune Imperium. Runner up is Code Names and Clank. Don't really play board game apps. I'm kind of stuck on just the one that I play, which is like Terraforming Mars. That's about the only one. Oh, I did download the Unmatched app recently. That's fantastic, but I need to play against a real person because the computer can be too easy.
I was gonna
That's
say
always
I
my
can't
dilemma.
leave your house if you have an unmatched app.
I know, right? I need to play. You can play it online, and I probably need to. I just wanted to get a little bit better at it because some of these people, when you get into like tournaments of games like that are super competitive, oh man, you get some tryhards, and man, sometimes I don't know, it becomes less enjoyable. But I have played in unmatched tournaments and have won. So while I'm not a tryhard, I do pretty good job at that game. So I probably should just do it, but I also don't want it to be ruined. So
Yeah, out of all these, I didn't like Dune Imperium anyway, so I'm definitely not playing the app and not excited it was the winner.
yeah,
Codenames is one of those games that don't translate for me either. I've never been a fan, never enjoyed my plays.
interesting.
Maybe it was the people. Maybe it's the people. I don't know. Now, Plank would be the only one out of those three that I would entertain, but I've always had a heart for deck builders. That's
Yeah,
one of my first favorite mechanics. I mean, Dominion, we all know about.
of course.
Um, of course. But I actually am really upset that Teach You, the app game, is not on here. The Teach You app game is phenomenal. It counts everything up for you. It's amazing.
Do you play with the computer?
I do. And my Teach You game is quite strong.
Wow. I don't get me started on Tichu. I'm sure it's fine, but man, I don't know how you people love it so much.
What do you mean, you people?
Oh, you know what I mean. You teach you people. You guys go crazy.
Tell you because it is just an elegant game that just has so many nuances that I played
Yeah.
it for so long now, and there's still so much to learn.
I'll take your word for it. All right. Well, that was the Board Game Geek 19th annual award for 2024. Which ones did you guys agree with? Which ones did you disagree with? Also, do you think there's validity in these awards? I think there's validity in all the awards. I think it's a nice little snapshot of a group of people at any given time. Obviously, the winner of a two-player card game, Lords of the Ring, Duel for Middle Earth, you may not like it, and that's fine. But like these things are like really good to look at to go, I should try some of these games out because if enough people liked them, there's a good chance you could like them. Like, you may not, but not gonna hate all of them unless you're Chris. Chris might hate all of them.
Bad, bad sample there.
Yeah, no, usually Chris is the bad example. So, all right, well, that's it. 30 minutes, not too bad. So, we'll bring this one to a close. So, guys, until next time, we'll see you Around the
Around
board.
the board.